For 2 hours to midnight, our metal show. Pat Butler rounds out the triumvirate here. And we'll do nothing but 2 hours of metal on Saturday night. A lot of good bands lined up for you. Got some local metal in there as well. And who am I going to play for you on Saturday night? I'm going to play... Well, Saturday, the very day, is the 40th anniversary of Metallica's Ride the Lightning. So I'm going to pull some stuff off of that. That's by Bridget's request. She just was hectoring me over and
Alan,
over.
Please.
Please do this.
Play more metal all the time.
All the time. Well, on Saturday nights. And we're going to play local metal from Nightmare Empire and a band called We That Live. Brand new stuff from Oceano, who are a fantastic deathcore band from Chicago, Illinois. Play some classic King Diamond in there. And requests. So anytime you want to request something, the email is 2htm@wmms.com. If you listen to us on iHeartRadio from out of state or the far-flung reaches of Ohio, tell me where. Braley is one of our bureau chiefs in Denver. Johnny listens in Belmont, Mississippi. Angela is down in Cincinnati. Rob and Lisa listen in Yelm, Washington. And Victoria is a new listener, also in Washington. She's in Bothell, Washington. And then I heard from somebody who lives in Waverly, Ohio. They said, hey, we listen in Waverly, Ohio. And so I went to look that up. It's basically south of Columbus, due east of Cincinnati. But more interestingly, it's PP Township. Surely you guys know about this, but I'd never heard of this before.
That's where Bruce Wayne is from.
PP Township. Oh, man. One of the 14 townships of Pike County, Ohio. All right.
No,
so
I've
anyway,
actually never heard of PP Township.
You haven't? All right.
Not,
well, the person I heard from said I'm here in Waverly, Ohio, and every time somebody tells me where they are, I always Google map it, so I know exactly where they are. I don't know where Bothell, Washington is otherwise, but I'm mapping. Oh, it's suburban Seattle. PP Township in Ohio. And maybe that's an old Indian name. Maybe that's an old Native American tribe thing. I don't know.
Pee-pee's what I like to do. Pee-pee-poo, pee-pee-poo, poo-poo. I like to do too. Poo-poo, pee-pee-poo. Poo-poo, pee-pee-poo, poo, pee-pee-pee-pee-poo, poo-poo. Oh, pee-pee's what I like to do. Pee-pee-poo, pee-pee-poo, poo-poo. I like to do too. Poo-poo, pee-pee-poo.
I was walking my dog this morning. I got home from the gym, take my dog out for a bit, and I'm walking her. And we go down a few blocks from my street. I go down this street that I've never been down before. And I come to this cul-de-sac, and and that cul-de-sac itself, very nice houses, right? Okay. By and large, out where I live, there's some pretty nice places.
Other millionaires like you live there.
Not like me.
All right, other millionaires, but not like you.
I like my street because there's a lot of rabble-rousers on my street. But anyway, so I'm walking my dog, and we go up this cul-de-sac, and there was a second where I was like, is this being filmed for something? I'm like walking, I'm circling the cul-de-sac, and there's nobody else out. This is like 6:45 in the morning. And this guy, just as I'm passing his house, his sprinklers are on, the grass, a deep emerald green. And this guy walks out, youngish-looking guy, maybe late 30s, early 40s, brown beard. He walks out into his front step in a robe, leans over, grabs his Wall Street Journal. This is one of these streets where, like, every one of the driveways somebody that did deliver a Wall Street Journal that's sitting there on the driveway, right? And he did the whole thing where he, like, put his hands in his hips and stretched his back while he's looking out over the thing. I'm looking around like, is something being filmed here? Or what?
Did I end up in Pleasantville?
Yes. Everything's in color, so it was the strangest thing. I was like, well, I'm not going down that street anymore.
Wait, you didn't like it?
I
think it sounds,
you weren't into it?
It's not my kind of.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't belong over there.
Sounds nice.
I don't belong. Yeah, it's great.
Just walking down the street.
I don't belong.
You don't have to stay there, but you can walk by it. Yeah. When I first moved to Lakewood, the street one over was like that. Like the rest of the streets, they have, street lights and stuff like that. But the street over was the fanciest street in that area where they had, we on my street they had like the street lights, but it's like the they're not the cute ones.
City lights.
Yeah, like
The
city
ugly
lights.
ones.
Yeah.
The ones like, but they had like the lamp post where it's like looks like an old fashioned
like gas lamp post.
Yeah. But I mean they're electric lights, but they look stylized like that. And there was every house perfectly manicured lawn. Just, no cars parked on the street, which is rare in Lakewood because everybody parks on the street.
It's weird when you stumble onto one of those streets and you go, what is happening?
It's just like plop there.
And that's what it was. There is a street near me that has legit gas streetlights. The neighborhood has a gas line that lights the streetlights.
That just seems dramatic.
Kind of, yeah. But again, very.
Listen, if I had it, though, I'd be like, I love it.
Yeah, you come to my street, my lights,
yeah,
my gas.
My lights are like my.
Here we go. Do it.
Just explanations to women. Gaslight.
No, I thought he was, doing something else.
I thought you were doing two-part
gaslighting.
No, not different. You never know what to expect from me.
Yep,
it's true.
Can't give you exactly what you think is going to come.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody hear the Billy Ray Cyrus audio?
No.
Oh, no.
Okay, so Billy Ray Cyrus is in this very contentious divorce proceeding with his very young wife. He was married for a long time to Tish Cyrus. That's Miley's mom and Noah's mom, right? They were married for a long, long time. They had their share of problems, too.
I didn't know he got remarried, honestly.
Well, 6 months later.
Oh.
Yeah, they were not married for a long time.
No.
Yeah.
No, I think they were dating. But so he has gotten himself Donald Sterling'd, as it were.
Uh-oh.
And she was recording him as he was berating her, talking about something. Billy Ray Cyrus is 62 years old. Still to this day, to the best of my knowledge, he has one hit under his belt. So no wonder this guy's pissed when he sees everybody else in his family
but he
go on to,
He made Miley, and she's
No, I get it, but
star,
he's estranged from everyone, I think.
Oh,
like,
really?
He calls Miley the devil,
Oh, wow.
So the guy's, he's probably drunk all the time. I don't know what Anyway, he's 62. His soon-to-be ex-wife is a girl who I guess was an Australian singer that he took under his wing or something. She changed her name to Fire Rose Cyrus, but her real name is something like Amanda or something like that. And she said that part of the divorce was verbal, emotional, and psychological abuse. And so now this tape is out where he's screaming at her and calling her stupid. So I imagine that she recorded this because she knew which way the wind was blowing. And she's like, I'm going to need something down the road here once we get into the divorce proceedings.
Need a little proof.
It's not 9:15.
I needed to leave 2 hours ago.
No, you didn't. You can still leave and get there.
Get the out of here. I'm not in no place to go do a show.
First of all, he sounds terrible. I don't know if the guy was sick or what. I mean, he looks like Rob Zombie these days. He's got the hat and the long brown hair and the beard. And the
he
whole
doesn't
thing,
even sound like him.
No. I mean,
he sounds very like on drugs or drunk or
it sounds like
both.
he's got an achy breaky throat.
And so,
I had to go when I was ready to go. If you would have just shut the up,
screaming at
if
me.
you would have just left it the
Sorry.
He's not really screaming.
If you would have left it alone when I told you it's done. Now I'm really pissed. You once again showed me you will not listen. I don't know who the you think you are, but you will not listen. And then
he starts telling her not to bring black people to his games. He really went off the rails. I didn't understand that at all.
That was a different.
Oh, I see.
This ain't about your bracket. This ain't about your surgery. This ain't about nothing. This is about you being a selfish. I don't think you're real smart. I've changed my damn mind on that. What you are is a selfish.
No.
I'll tell you what, that's what you are. You're a selfish
I'm not
ass.
that.
You cannot continue to walk all over me and think that I'm going to go out in public with your dumb and have you do this anywhere you want in front of whoever.
Are you referring
This
to
guy's a little stinker.
He is being a little
He's got a
stinker.
real potty mouth, this
Yeah.
guy. Where were you, raised in a barn?
Yeah.
Oh, should be out there with the animals talking like that.
Listen, if your voice sounds like that, you can't be
Wow. I hope she went and got some soap so she could wash his mouth out with it.
Right.
Are you screaming at me right now?
this would not be happening with
Maybe he's just mad because he couldn't take that Australian accent any longer. Arnar.
you would have just shut your mouth. Look what a mess you've made. What a dumb
Mess
thing
you've
to do.
made.
Now that's dumb because you have to know I will not tolerate that. You just dumb.
I thought you'd be happy.
No, you.
And by the way, every time a woman is recording, they know they're recording, obviously.
Right.
They
So
have
they're
to be
yeah.
super
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
Why
she's-
are
Remember
you
Mel
saying
Gibson?
This?
Yeah.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Nobody gets tickets because of you.
Like I
Mel
definitely-
Gibson was screaming at his Russian girlfriend. She's like, I don't know why you're talking to me
Yeah.
like that.
Why are you yelling?
You know better than that. Idiot.
Yeah. So anyway, I referred to Miley Cyrus as a skank.
His
Something
own daughter,
like that.
he said.
Yeah, something like that. I
Yeah.
don't know. So I don't know what the repercussions of this are. I don't know if he's
Like, yeah, what are you gonna
Release,
stop him from doing? Like, oh no, you can't.
Cuss? Like,
Well, like yeah, but like cancel him from what? Like he's not out there performing.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
nobody-
right.
yeah, he's
What was that?
Mel Gibson. The Mel Gibson. Remember the Mel Gibson?
She's only 26.
Oh, yeah.
Alan.
I'm sorry. You don't remember
baby.
the Mel Gibson tapes. You would have been in high school when those dropped.
You make me want to smoke.
Did you make me want to smoke?
Smoke.
Yeah.
You're a pain in my ass.
Oh. Oh my god.
He was really worked
He
up.
was really worked
He was
up.
worked
He
up.
said some way worse things too.
Yeah, these
You
are
know right now.
little Shakespeare dipping in there. Yeah, he told her not to bring black guys to his games too, right?
Well, no,
Something
he
along
said,
those
he
lines.
Said,
I hope a pack
you-
of N-words
Yeah, rapes you. Yeah,
in an alley
yeah,
or something. Yeah.
It
You
was.
know right now.
I'll tell you what, though. I got sucked into Payback last night. Say what you want about Mel Gibson. I got sucked into Payback because now it's streaming. And I was like, God damn it. There's one of the more recent movies that Mel Gibson has done. I haven't seen it, but I saw it's called On the Line. And he's a shock jock who gets a guy calling his show who says he takes his family hostage.
Oh.
And it's always, these movies where they portray radio people, they're always the overnight DJ, and somehow they have a ton of money in
A ton of money,
everybody's
a ton-
house.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
they're
you.
a millionaire.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
me, yeah.
Millionaire.
The overnight DJ.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How old is Mel Gibson now?
He's got to be almost 70.
Yeah, I think he's
Wow,
probably pushing
getting up there.
70. He might be 70.
He sounded like possessed in the that
Oh,
sound recording.
you got to go on YouTube and find those tapes.
Yeah.
They're hilarious.
They are.
Is a key in them or is it just a voice recording?
It's just voice recording.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah.
But it's, yeah.
It's him
Says
talking
a
to
lot of
his
stuff.
baby mom at the
He says
time.
a
Yeah.
lot of stuff.
He is 68, just
68.
turned
Oh,
68.
68. Okay.
Yeah. Mel Gibson. And he's still making movies. I mean, enough time's
Yeah.
gone by, I guess, where people are like, hey, let's make a movie with Mel Gibson.
So last night, you guys know the restaurant bar? It's not Astoria, not the one like
In
Well,
Gordon Square?
yeah, not that one.
Okay.
It's the one like right on East 9th Street. It's Osteria.
Yes,
Oh, okay,
Osteria.
Yeah. So that's like right. Oh, no, never mind. I'm not
Or
gonna say it.
Osteria or whatever.
Yeah, Osteria. I really don't know how to say it.
Yep.
So I pop in there yesterday. My friend was in town for dinner, and we go there, and then we end up sitting next to this couple at the bar. And they're like, "Oh, are you guys from here?" I'm like, "Well, I'm not from here, but I live here now. My friend, she's visiting from my hometown, whatever, making small talk. Like, what about you?" And they said they were in town for their 50th high school anniversary.
Oh.
They went to Firestone High School. I'm like, "Oh my gosh,
Reunion.
that's Akron area." What'd I say?
Anniversary.
Oh, yeah, reunion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know that.
Well, I didn't know if they were celebrating a
Oh, yeah,
wedding
yeah.
anniversary. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's reunion. And I'm like, well, that's like Akron area where I grew up. Why are you guys staying in Cleveland? Like, well, we actually live in LA. And so we wanted to come a night early, spend a little time here in Cleveland tonight. We're going to go to Rock and Roll Hall of Fame tomorrow. And then we go back to Akron. I'm like, oh, great. I'm like, so what brought you out to LA? This is why I do sometimes love to talk to random people
Yeah.
at the bar. He is like the sound guy for some of the biggest movies. And he was so, I had to ask all these questions to get it out of him.
Yeah.
I'm
Because
like,
he doesn't
what?
want to bring this out.
Right. Well,
'Cause
probably.
yeah, like this
This is why I'm an interviewer. I'm like,
well,
tell me
this is-
everything. Tell me
The
everything.
opposite of this happened last week where I was in an Uber with my friend and he talked about being a comedian. Then the guy driving the Uber was like, I could do comedy. I'm like, that's why you don't tell anybody you do
Yep,
comedy.
yep,
It's stupid.
Yep. So this guy's like, I'm like, can you name some movies? Like, I don't know, like Back to the Future, Shawshank Redemption. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, oh my gosh. He's like, yeah. And so I asked him, I'm like, all right, who is the worst and best actor or actress that you've ever had to work with? And he said Tom Hanks is everything you'd ever hope he would be in more.
Yeah.
Which made me so happy to hear, like, most humble, down-to-earth guy. But he said his very favorite and most down-to-earth person was Amy Adams.
Yeah, she seems sweet.
Yeah, she seems real sweet.
Yeah, very random one. He wouldn't tell me bad ones, though.
Yeah.
I mean, Tom Hanks is a fan of this show. He's hit us up a number of times.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Tom Hanks. Because he has that Cleveland connection from the Shakespeare, Great Lakes Shakespeare Company from 100 years ago. So, yeah, he's hit us up before.
My mind has been blown twice now.
Your what?
Film actor.
My mind has been blown twice today.
On one show.
Yeah.
We'll calm down on this one.
Oh.
Howdy, Alan. It's famous Cleveland native and film actor Tommy You Know Who. Here's a hint. I was in Volunteers with John Candy. I'm sorry I didn't reach out sooner, but I've been busy celebrating Cody's honor as the greatest sportscaster of all time. Please let Cody know that Chet has a fantastic Jamaican jerk chicken waiting for him whenever he feels irie. Anyways, I hate the show and wish Mozgov would call in again. Just wondering how his barbecue sauce business was doing in St. Petersburg, Florida. One last note. Could you hit the post on Night Boat to Cairo by Madness?
Wait, you guys are laughing, but
I
that's
forgot
Tom
about
Hanks.
Mozgov hasn't called in a while. I'm sorry.
Like, that was Tom Hanks.
I told you he's a big fan of the show.
Okay, well, obviously you
I
guys
mean,
are laughing at some.
He hasn't. He
is it
hasn't.
an impersonator or something?
He hasn't called since Pound Cake was voted best sports talker by the readers of Cleveland Scene magazine.
Do you know what
so
this
it's
guy's
been a minute. But.
first name was from yesterday? I'm on
What?
IMDb. I want to see if I can find him.
I know,
The
I
sound
forget.
guy.
I'm like mad at myself. And their story was fascinating too.
Okay.
I'm like, are you guys high school sweethearts? Since they were both going to their high school reunion, they said we dated from 17 to 21. He chased his dreams to do this film, movie stuff. Went out there. She's like, well, I don't want to go out there. And so it was like, okay, you go do you, go chase your dreams. He won an Academy Award.
Wow.
Yeah, I forget what movie that one was for. So he won an Academy Award. She like
Was
found.
it, what's the one? Suicide Squad. They won.
Boy, I'll tell you
they
what.
won best Academy, like an Academy
For sound
Award for
mixing?
sound editing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah.
This guy goes, what is it, Firestone High School?
Yeah.
Nobody's going to top this guy at the high school reunion.
Right. But their story is so sweet. So she sees that he wins an Academy Award. She was married, had kids. They got
Then
divorced.
she's interested all of a
No,
sudden.
well,
I
maybe,
get it.
maybe.
Yeah.
She-
Married with kids.
Contacted him. Well, she was divorced. Contacted him just to say like, hey, congratulations. He called her back and was like, what are you up to? She's like, well, wherever she lived. Came to LA. The rest is history. They've been together now for 15 years.
Yeah.
So they're like kind of high school sweethearts, but then separated for
Yeah, he sent her a D-pic next to that Oscar.
maybe. That was it.
That's right. That's all it
Sucked her
took.
right back in.
Yeah. Wow.
But isn't that cool? There's randomly here in
Yeah,
Cleveland. I'm like,
That rules.
wow. It reminded me of it because we're talking about Mel Gibson, who I would think just seems like a nice guy, but then obviously he's got a dark side. And I was like,
Oh, yeah. He's like, oh, yeah, Mel Gibson.
I didn't know that.
N-word and, oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
oh, I did
he
not know
was,
this.
a
Yeah,
cop
yeah,
pulled him
yeah,
over
yeah.
years ago, and he was calling her sugar tits and all this kind of, yeah. He's
See,
very, like,
I need to be more
anti-Semitic, and,
educated.
yeah.
Educated in the celeb world, apparently.
Well, I guess you don't have your ear to the ground on the many travesties of Mel Gibson.
I guess not. Well, I'm too young. I'm just a little.
Yeah, but you know who
I'm in my
Tommy Hanks
20s.
is, right? Alan Cox Show superfan Tom Hanks? You know
Okay,
who he is.
I'm so confused. That like
Howdy, Alan. It's famous Cleveland native and film actor Tommy.
is it
You
like a
Know Who.
cameo that you guys like paid
Here's
him to do?
No.
An
Never-
impersonator that
certainly
just
wouldn't
sounds
pay.
just like Tom Hanks?
No, it's Tom Hanks.
Well, you guys are clearly lying to me.
Clearly lying?
Because you're laughing
now
about
we're
it.
clearly lying to you?
Yeah. Who is it?
now.
Who
That is
is it?
Thomas Jeffrey
It's
Hanks.
Tom Hanks. You're so sweet and naive.
No, it's just it's Tom Hanks.
Well, it sounds just like him. So
It
that's
is.
like,
It
confusing.
is. Let me check my notes. Oh, I'm sorry. It is AI Tom Hanks. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
I didn't know AI could do that either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Oh,
I didn't know you could
that
do-
got sent to us. I
Yeah.
didn't. I didn't write that.
That was pretty good. I mean, it sounds just like him.
Well,
but that's why it sounds a little off. Like, let's play it again, and I think you can probably hear that it sounds
Howdy,
a little
Alan.
weird.
It's famous Cleveland native and film actor Tommy You Know Who. Here's a hint. I was in Volunteers with John Candy. I'm sorry I didn't reach out sooner, but I've been busy celebrating Cody.
No, it sounds exactly like him. It's just what he is saying is
What he's
ridiculous.
saying is a
Yeah,
little
yeah, yeah.
weird, and
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's what
That's
I
what I was
meant.
thinking.
Yeah, yeah.
Celebrities do those cameos. I'm like, I
Right.
feel like Tom Hanks is a little bit too big of a deal to
I
be
don't think he's
charging for
doing those.
cameos. Yeah.
He'll do it for charity every so often. Years ago,
Yeah.
I sent it was Make a Wish or I don't know what it was, St. Jude, and he would do voicemail recordings.
That's
It's pretty
what a guy.
wild. Yeah. I finally finished that Mr. Rogers movie he was in.
Oh,
It was so good. It's
Did he
called A
get the
Beautiful
girl?
Day in the Neighborhood. No, he didn't.
Huh.
No, weird. Okay.